So good morning and welcome to Thursday morning's adapted yoga session. I will start off with a full pose and then I will move on to the adapted pose. Stay where you feel you need to be. So we're going to start by bringing our feet in line with our hips. We can turn our hands out, we can bring them into prayer, we can bring them into back prayer. Anything that we feel we want to do. We can think about our breathing. There's lots of different breathing techniques that we can do. We could say a prayer, we could say a mantra, we could do a tone. It's completely up to you. But we're just bringing ourselves to this moment. We're trying to get rid of everything else. Staying nice and relaxed, but we're going to drop our chin down towards our chest, and if we want, we can bring our hands up and give a little pull just to stretch that back of the neck. You don't have to if you don't want to. And release the hands. Bring the head back up. So we're going to take it back, and if you can, we're going to sit the chin up towards the ceiling. If you want to, you can move it side to side. And then bring it back down. So we're tucking the chin in, we'll bring it towards the ear, towards the shoulder. If we want, we give it a little pull. We can push the other hand towards the floor, or you could push it out towards the side. Whatever feels nicer for you. And then release, bring the head back up, and let's try the other side. So tucking the chin in, taking it over, giving a pull, giving a push. Try to make sure the body stays upright, we're not going over to the side. bringing it back up again. So we're going to turn and look over our shoulder, but we're going to screw our head on a little bit tighter. We'll turn sideways. We're bringing the head, but we don't want the elbow coming round. We want the elbow pulling back. And then we're releasing, bringing the head back to centre. And we're changing sides, turning, looking over the shoulder. Screw that head on a little bit tighter. And release, bring it up. So we're going to go into forward backward bend. Now you can lift the arms up, reach down. You can always swing the arms in different directions, but I'm going to stick with a low blood pressure version, so I'm not going to lift the arms too high. So the arms are coming up to the shoulders, they're going down, the head staying up, we're lifting up and we're stretching back. Breathing out on the way down, breathing in on the way up. And it's up to you which version you want to do. But I stay low because I know most people, if they're watching, will try and copy me. So the whole time I'm doing this, my back is staying straight. My arms aren't coming above my shoulders. My head isn't dropping below my heart. But I'm still working my thighs, my hips, my knees, my shoulders, and just feel yourself warming up. And we're going to do 2 more. And bring it back down. So we're going to take it over to the side. Now you can lift the arm up and reach over, turning the thumb backwards, or you can keep the hands down by your side. And again, I'm staying with my hands down by my side. So here we go, tucking the chin in, breathing out, reaching over, breathing in to come back up, breathing out, breathing in. And 1 more on each side. And so again, I'm not lifting my arms, so again, not raising my blood pressure. And bringing it back to centre. So we're going to twist. So again, if you wanted, you could lead with your head and look over the shoulder. So again, as long as you haven't got lower back problems, or again, with blood pressure problems, sometimes that hurts as well. Or you can just look and hold, look and hold, keeping it very slow, and that'll keep the blood pressure down. It gives you more time to focus on that lower back to make sure that everything feels okay. And then we're bringing it back to centre. Lovely. So now with our arms, we're taking it into back prayer. So the fingers are coming together, they're turning back, they're coming up. What tends to happen is they get caught on our clothes. So you've got to try and really pull the shoulders back, pull the arms away, and then bring them up. Isn't easy. Now if that's too much, you can always just bring your hands and hold them here. It doesn't matter where they are. What we're going to do is just circle the shoulders. So we're taking them in either direction. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to change direction anyway. And then we're going to change direction. And then we're bringing them down and we're giving our arms a little shake. So we're going to take it into our hips. I'm going to take the camera down. So if you need to, you can hold onto a chair, onto the table, onto the wall, anything you want. You're keeping your foot on the floor. You can take the foot out, turn it round and bring it back in. So it's out, turn and back in. Or you can keep it on the floor and just draw a circle with your foot. And then we're going to do the other side. So again, it can be out and twist and back, not by the chair, otherwise you might bang your foot, or in a circle. So just taking it round. And bring it back down. So we're going to come onto our tiptoe on one side. If you want to, pull the toes out, give them a nice stretch. And then we're sitting down. We're keeping our back straight, we're not going forward. We're just bending the knee. We'll feel it in the ankle on one side and you're pushing them toes forward on the other. And then let's bring it up and let's change sides. So again, if you need to, pull the toes, stretch them out. Especially if they've been in socks all day. And then bend, push the hips, the foot forward. Bringing it back up, let's do one more. And let's change last time. And bring it back up. Give your legs a little shake. So we're going to take it into sun salutation. I'm not going to use the chair, but if you need to use the chair, please use the chair if you can't get to the floor. You can always use a block as well if you want to. If you can't get to the floor as well, you can. I'll put that down and I'll use that today. So we're going to take our feet in line with our hips. We're engaging our thighs, engaging our back thighs, our stomach muscles, our pelvic floor, our abdominals. Bringing our shoulders back and down, bringing our hands into prayer. Close your eyes. Think of what you want. It's all about you for this hour. So we're going to lift our arms up and stretch back. Remember, if you've got blood pressure, you might not want to lift the arms. Breathe out. Bring the hands down to the floor, to the block. Bend your knees. Let your head come forward again. Unless you've got blood pressure problems, keep it lifted. We're going to take it into a half bend. So we're straightening the legs, pulling the shoulders back, pushing forward. Feel that nice stretch on the lower back and through the bum muscles. So we're bending down, we're stepping back. With our right foot, if we want, we can take the knee to the floor, push into the hips. We can lift our arms to our knee, we can lift up one arm, we can lift up both arms. We're taking the hands down, coming back to the knee, lift up to down dog. Push the heels to the floor. Push the chest towards the thighs. Come up onto the toes, come forward into plank, squeeze them stomach muscles. Bend the elbows, bring the chest down, let the hips drop. Come to Sphinx if we prefer. Make sure that the shoulders are out, and the neck's out of the shoulders. Hands underneath the shoulders, push back to the knees. If you can spring back up to down dog. We're going to lift the left foot up in the air, push the heel of the right foot down, look forward, pull the knees into the chest, step it forward. If it doesn't go, put that back knee down, move it up, push the hip, lift if you want. Remember, you can lift that back knee if you feel you can. Take the hands down, come up onto the knee, step in, lift the head, stretch the arms, breathe in, lift up. Here we go again, one more. Breathing out. Breathing into a half bend. Breathing out, stepping back. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, back to down dog. Breathing in, coming up onto your tiptoes. Breathing out, coming forward. Breathing in, lifting to cobra, shoulders down. Breathing in, breathing out, sorry, back to down dog. Breathing in, lifting the leg. Breathing out, bringing it back through your hands. Breathing in, lifting up, lovely. And breathing out, back to a full bend. Breathing in, lifting up. Reaching back, hands together, breathe out, bring the hands back down. Lovely. So I'm going to take the camera back up again for a mo. So we're going to take it into straight leg triangle. Now if you want to, you can have your chair so that you're not reaching down too far. You can always have a block if you want to get down to the floor, or you can always just use your leg. You don't have to go all that way. With the chair, you've got 2 points. You've got the top or you've got the seat. So again, you may find, especially if you've got back problems, that the top of the chair is probably as far as you want to go. You may find that you can get to the chair seat, so it's a little bit further down. You can then take it down a little bit further towards a block and turn the block in different directions. So there's lots of ways of doing it. You don't have to go right the way to the floor the whole time. So I'm going to start with the back of the chair, because you can see that. And I'm going to just show you the feet, and then I'll bring it back up to the arms. Now with triangle pose, There's two different versions for your legs. You can have a narrow stance so that it's near enough, just slightly off your hips. Or you can take it to a really wide stance so it's completely off the hips. Everybody is slightly different, and people that tend to have pain or joint arthritis of the hip may prefer a shorter version. But you have to decide for yourself. So it's always best you have a go. Maybe do the first one with the narrow and do the second one with a wide until you can work out which position you prefer and then stay with it. My preference is wide. So I will always go wide because I prefer this to the narrow one, but that's my preference. It doesn't have to be yours. Now with the feet, you're going to turn one out so it's going towards the chair, but you don't want your hips to come round. You want your hips to be nice and straight. You want to try and grip, especially if you find that your bridge falls in. You might want to grip with your toes to engage the bridge and make the bridge work. And the same with the back leg. You may want to grip with your toes to engage the whole of the legs. If they stay up, then you don't need to grip. So from here, I'm going to bring it back up. So that's where our feet are. And then it all depends on, again, your blood pressure and where your arms want to be. You can have your arms here, and you can keep them in this direction. You can always take that arm slightly over, but again, your blood pressure will rise. I'm going to keep mine here. Again, if your shoulders hurt, take them out. So we're turning our foot out, keeping our hips placed back. We're going to reach over as if there's something just out of our hand. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to reach a little bit more. And then breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to then take the hand to wherever it wants to go. If this arm can lift so that it's in line with the shoulder, so it's going straight across, that's fine. But if it feels too much, keep it down here if it needs to. If you want, you're going to turn and look up towards your thumb. We're breathing into that top lung. So all across here, we're breathing in. We're breathing out through the bottom one. Now we're going to imagine somebody's in the roof and they're going to pull you upwards and lift you out. And bring the hands down. So we're going to bring that foot in. We're going to change our blocks if we need to. So I'm going down a little bit lower onto the other side. So we're going to turn the foot out. We're taking the arms out. Okay, blinded by the sun here. We're going to breathe out and reach over as if there's something just out of our reach. We're breathing in and we're going to breathe out and reach a little bit more if we can. Breathing in, and as we breathe out, we're taking that hand down and we're seeing if we can raise that top arm a little bit more. Remember, it's up to you. How does it feel? If it doesn't feel right, take absolutely no notice of anything I say. Breathe into that top lung. And we're going to lift up to the ceiling and lift ourselves back out. Bringing the hands down, moving that foot in. So again, we're going to try the other side. So like I said, if you're not sure about how you prefer your feet to be, then go into a shorter stance at this time, or a wider stance if you did the shorter stance first. So changing the legs. If not, if you like it in one position, stick in that position. So here we go. We're going to reach over, hold it, big breath in, stretch, reach a little bit more. Breathe in, stretch, breathe out, take it down. Lift the arm up. Try to imagine that you're in between the two pieces of glass. So you can't lean forward, you can't lean back, you've got to be as straight as possible. And then we're going to breathe in to lift and bring the hands down. So bring the foot in, let's change sides. I'm going to just drop that to the foot. So we're turning the foot out, having the other foot turned in, engaging everything, taking the hands out, reaching out, breathe out, reach over. Breathe in, stretch them arms. Breathe out, reach a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out, take the hands down. See if we can lift that top arm, twist the body backwards. Push into the back foot. Make sure not everything's leaning over that front foot. That there's still movement in the knees, we haven't locked out them knees. And then we're going to lift up and bring it down, turning them feet back in. Give yourself a little shake. So we're going to take it into the twist, and it's going to be the same position with the legs, but we're going to try to turn the legs around. Now what tends to happen is that leg, that back leg, as we try to bring our hips round, starts to bend, starts to roll out. So it may be that you need to turn yourself so that your hips are facing forward. Now they'll tell you that you've got to try and keep your foot down and turn it in, but the hip, the knees, the ankles are more important. So if you have to, then you make sure that the hips, the knees, the ankles are all secure rather than the other way around. So again, I'm just going to bring it back up. So again, if you've got back problems, you'd be very weary of this. And we're going to keep our hands. So we've turned our foot, so we've got our right foot, or whichever foot, if the right foot's facing towards the chair, the hips are facing forward. It will be the right hand that goes down and places itself on your lower back. That way, everything underneath this hand here, I'll do it this way, everything underneath this hand here is protecting. This is going to be where, if you're going to do any injury to your spine, it happens at this point. This tends to be where our slip discs happen. So if we've got our hand here, we can think what's happening underneath the back, and I keep that area of the back straight. So from there, we're going to lean forward and bring our hand down onto our leg, onto the chair, onto a block. We're going to lift that elbow at the back so it twists, and we're looking behind. So we're looking to see anything happening underneath this area here. We're looking behind us. We're going to roll ourselves back to the centre. We're going to take the hand out and place it back where the other hand is. We're going to rotate out with that hand, lift it up, so we're going into a triangle pose. And then we're bringing ourselves back up. So I'm going to do it from the front with the feet. So let's bring ourselves back up, and I'll do the other side. So we're turning the foot out. We're bringing our hips round, even if we have to bring our foot round as well. Whichever way the foot's facing, it's that hand that's going behind our back. The other hand is coming out. We're reaching over. And then we're breathing out, bringing our hand down, placing it on the block, on the leg, on the floor. The elbow, we're going to lift it and twist and look behind. So we're rotating. We're bringing that hand down and off the back, placing it exactly where the other hand is. And we're opening at the front. We're then going to get that person in the ceiling to lift us up, lift us out, bringing us back round. So I'm going to do that one more time, but I'm going to take out that back arm. Now, if you've got back problems, high blood pressure problems, you may not want to take the hand off your back. You may want to keep it exactly where it is, and that is fine. Listen to your body. It will put a lot of stress on there and it will twist you really hard. Before we do it though, when you bring your hand out, it'll be your little finger up. From this point, you turn the shoulder and the hand so that the thumb comes up. And then you bring it up in that direction. You don't want to be bringing it in this direction or it'll just push your shoulder forward. You want to take it that way so that when you're lifting, it's bringing your shoulder backwards and pulling you into a back bend more so than a forward bend. And it'll keep you between that piece of glass. So, let's do that. We're going to turn our foot out. We're going to turn ourselves round to get our hips in the right place. We're taking the same leg and the hand behind the back. We're taking the other hand out. We're breathing out, we're reaching forward. Breathe in, breathe out, take the hand down, place it on the block, on the chair, wherever you want. Twist towards the back, lifting that elbow up. Take the hand out, little finger up, then roll it back so the thumb comes up. Then if you want, lift it. Take that hand down, place it where the other hand is, open up to the front. Lift up and bring the hands down. I'm going to drop it to the floor so you can watch the feet. The same thing with the arms. So we're turning the foot out. We're turning the body round, we're adjusting that foot so that it's in the right place. The hand in line with the foot goes behind the back, the other hand comes out. We're breathing out, we're reaching forward. Breathing in, and on the next breath in, bringing the hand down, placing it on the block if we want. Lift that back elbow up. Take it out. Give yourself a thumbs up and then lift the arm up. Keep pulling back. Think about being in that glass. You can't move backwards, you can't move forwards. Taking the hand down. Place it where the other hand is, lift the arm. And then lift up to the ceiling. Turn the feet. Bring the hands in. Lovely. So we're going to take it into a wide leg bend. You're taking your legs as far as you can. You're pushing down through the outside edge. You're trying to kind of lock out the ankles. Now again, you may just want to come down to the chair. You can bring your elbows down. You can place your head into the chair if you want to as well. You could bring it all the way down onto the block, letting your head go forward. You can have the hands on the floor. You can walk the hands through. So again, it just depends. If you've got blood pressure problems, you may want to stick with the chair. So, if we get ourselves ready, taking our legs apart, let's breathe in, lift the arms, and breathe out, reaching forward, bringing yourself down to wherever you can go. So again, if it's blood pressure problems, you'll want to keep your head in line with your heart. You don't want to take it down too far. Also for back problems, you may find that this is quite nice because that back is nice and straight. So we're going to bend the knees and then we're going to lift ourselves back up. So you can roll up, or if you've got back problems, you'll keep that back nice and straight. We're going to see if we can move the feet out a little bit further this time. So I'm going to have my block. So when we go down, you're going to see if you can turn your toes out and then make your heels meet up with them. Then letting your head go down. If you've got a block, you may be able to rest your head on the block. Or you can just let the head drop and let the spine pull down. Again, if you want, you can walk them hands backwards, but if that feels a bit unsafe, keep the hands underneath your shoulders. My feet are sliding. So we're going to look forward with our heads down. Bend our knees. Roll up. Lovely. Walk them legs in. Give yourself a little shake. So we're taking it down onto the floor. So again, if you need to, grab a cushion, grab your chair. If it's knee problems, you may find you can either, you might be able to like lower yourself from the chair down and the same to come back up. If it's one knee, then put your good knee down, keep your bad knee there, bring yourself off of the same, getting back up onto your good knee, then lift up. If you really can't get to the floor, stay where you are and I will show you a version on the chair of everything. I'm going to start with us on the floor. So we're going into monkey. Now you may want a block, you may want some cushions, anything like that. So you may want a cushion to go underneath the back knee, or when we get into the position you might want to pad yourself up. So I'll show you the full version and then show you how to get out of it. So, we're bringing ourselves onto our knee, our hands go down. Again, if you need to, have a block so that you're in the nice position. And you're just going to push backwards and forwards from this position. Now, like I said, you may want some padding under that back knee, but you're pushing forwards and backwards. So have a go at that, change, do about 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Now if you're on a chair, if you really can't get to the floor, then from here, you're going to sit on your chair, bring yourself right to the edge, turn round, and you're taking that leg back and you're just pushing that knee up to the back. You'll feel the stretch through the front of the body here, through the back of the knee. And then you can change and do the other side. And when you need to use the other ones that are doing the back and forward, you can always sit back into hero. And hero, this is the only time when hero is actually quite nice to sit in. Everybody's kind of like, oh, hero, lovely. So we're going to take it a little bit further. So if you're on a chair, just stay where you are. And again, I'll show you some different adaptations. So with the foot out, and again, you can have your hands on the block or hand on the floor. The front foot, you're wobbling it side to side as if you're waving, and then you're also pushing. This back leg, you want to keep the knee down so that it lifts up. It doesn't want to be on its side, and you can take it back. You may find that you'll get to a point where it's no return. You might want to stick a cushion underneath to make it a little bit nicer, or you can always stick a block and hold the block just underneath the thigh. If you can come back and come upright, brilliant. If not, stay there or stay on your block. But the same, you can put the padding underneath as well and just holding it there. Couple of breaths. When you're ready, pull the leg back. Again, you can always sit into hero and then change sides. Now, if you're on a chair, very similar, but we're just going to do it slightly different. So on a chair, we're still coming to the edge, we're turning. You're taking that leg at the back, but now you're moving this leg at the front. So you're bringing your bum and you're again, let me just pull that back because if you're on instant you can't see, sorry. The leg at the front, and again just letting the leg foot go from side to side. You can always lean forward to stretch that back leg. And bringing them back in. I'm just going to stretch my other leg. And bringing it in, sitting back down when you need to. So let's take it into cat and cow. So on your hands and knees, and again if you need to, put padding under the knees. You're going to drop the hips, pushing the belly towards the floor, pulling the shoulders back, looking up. As you breathe out, you're tilting the pelvis in the other direction, opening the shoulders, pulling the head in. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, taking it down. You can always, from here, take it down, lift up, push to cat with a tail tuck, and then take it back into a cow with a leg lift, if you want to. Now, you may find, especially if you've got really bad knees, you can't do that. So carry on with that, do whichever version you want. If you've got really bad knees, you can't go onto your knees, then you can do the same version on your back. So lying down, and you can open, take the spine really wide, so you're lifting up. As you breathe out, you're curling the pelvis the opposite direction. Breathing in, taking it up. Breathing out, taking it down. You can always increase that by lifting, bringing it down, curling the foot in, bringing the knee in towards the head, taking it down, curling back, pushing down, lifting, taking it down, rolling out, curling back, lift. Okay, so if you can't get onto your knees, you can do it that way. If you're on a chair, then standing up, hands on the chair, doing it from here. So curling up, Breathing out, breathing in to cow. And again, you can do the same thing, curling in, tucking the knee in, curling out, lifting up. So it doesn't matter where you are, on a chair, on the floor, bad knees, nothing matters as long as you're moving that spine and it's getting the spine to move. It's starting to work the stomach muscles, work the back muscles, pulling them out of the shoulders, help the neck to release and relax as well. So it doesn't matter where you are, everybody can do these. Let's take it into bridge. And again, you may want a block. So similar if you've just been doing this one on the floor, you're bringing your foot down, making sure that your knees are in line with your hips, turning the shoulders. So you don't want the palms flat down, you want the shoulders to turn so that they come underneath the shoulder blades and they push the chest forward. So the head's lifting off the floor. You're going to roll the spine towards the floor, then lift the hips, take it into bridge pose. Walk the feet back, push up. Now you can stay here. You can always try lifting one leg. You could use your hands to come underneath and do a supported bridge, and again lifting the legs. Or you can get a block, stick the block underneath, so it comes underneath your pubic bone, your hip bone, not underneath the back, and again you can lift the legs from there. So any of those are okay. When you want to come out, make sure that you come down, roll into a ball. If you're on a chair, obviously I can't get you to do too much of a bridge, but if you're on a chair, we can still work that lower back. So sitting at the edge of your chair, you're rolling your shoulders back, pulling your shoulder blades together. And then you can always come back to centre. So you're pulling, lifting the head up and rolling back. Now for us on the floor, when we're doing supported bridge, we should make sure that there's no pressure on our neck. We may find if we can get one leg up, we may be able to get two legs up. And again, that should be the same if you're using a block. Even if it's a low block, if you hold onto the block, you may lift one, you may be able to lift two legs. And the block just makes it a little bit easier on your arms. But you're still lifting them legs, you're still taking the weight off the thighs, helping the fluids to drain down. Obviously on a chair you can't do this. But you could always lie down and put your legs up a wall if you wanted, or when you're in bed, lie down through there. So let's bring ourselves back down. Take our hands or take our block from underneath. Curl into a ball or upside down child. So pulling the knees in. And we're going to roll ourselves up onto our ball. So we're taking it into one of the hardest yoga moves, which is lotus. We're going to take it nice and easy. Now lotus, a lot of people, especially after a certain age, our hips, our knees don't want to go. So for some people, we will never get into the full lotus. You can either do it or you won't be able to do it. And that's not a problem. Cross legs is just as good. And cross legs can be just as painful on the knees. So again, even with doing cross legs, you may find that if you might need to put a block underneath your legs to kind of keep the knees from dropping down. It can be quite painful. You may find as well, if you're doing cross legs, what happens is that lower back curls in. So you may want to stick padding underneath your bum to try and force your bum to drop forward, and that'll help the knees to come out. So like I said, if you feel you have to stop in cross legs, you stop in cross legs. Now, we can make it a little harder. So if you're sitting in cross leg and you want to try, you could try first of all just bringing your foot up onto a block, 1 foot up. Again, it can be padding, it can be anything you want. It can be your calf that you're sticking it up onto. And again, if you need to, you may want to put a block underneath that leg to hold it in place. Now, while it's here, we may as well do some toe exercises. So if you grab your toe, big toe, pull it out, give it a little wiggle. And then we're going to make it all the way down. Now, if you're on a chair, you may want to just bring your foot up onto your thigh. If you're on a chair, you may just want to do that. Trying to not flex the foot like we normally do, but let the foot relax so that you're working that ankle. If you want to hold the knee, then you can hold the knee if it feels too much. But the same thing, pulling at the toes, giving them a little wiggle, giving them a little stretch as well. So pulling one toe away from the other toe. And while we're here, we can kind of just have a look at the foot, at the sole of the foot. Kind of pull it out as if we're trying to turn it to have a look right down through the sole. Check out any rough skin. Give it a little feel, a little pinch, a little push. Get your thumb and kind of push your thumb into all parts of the foot. And that way you'll kind of feel if certain areas are tight or tense, it gives you an indication of parts of the body that are tight and tense. So then we're going to take that foot down and we're going to change it. So again, if you can't get it up onto anything, then you do it right here, right on the floor. The same thing, you don't have to lift it up. If you can, you lift it. But just pulling and pinching the toes. And this will encourage circulation into the lower part of the body. So again, even though it'll kill the ankles, it shouldn't actually hurt too much until you take it off. The body kind of forgets what it's doing. Oh, look at that rabbit. I'm going to bring, at the end, I've got I'm dog sitting my son's dog. And I will bring her in at the end. I can't bring her in yet because she's huge. So she'll jump all over me, but I will bring her in a second. She keeps looking through the door at me. Like, what are you doing? Why are you in there? You're not letting me in. She's beautiful, big chow chow, big and fluffy. Totally unsociable. She only likes you if you've got food, otherwise she's so fluffy that she's like one of those ones you want to like hug. But she's like, oh no, get off. Don't touch me. So let's change legs one more time. Seeing if you can get it a little higher. If it won't go, don't worry. But you can bounce the knee if you want. And again, just having a rub of the foot. You can try rubbing the calf, pinching the calf or pinching the thighs, giving it a nice squish. Rubbing around the knees, around the ankles. Just warming up the leg. And the thing is, the more it starts to warm and we get more blood flow towards it, it starts to give a little. You don't need to be a great masseur. It's just rubbing the leg, squeezing and pinching the fatty parts, the muscular parts, not the bones. And then we're going to change legs last time. So we're getting as high as we can get it. Enjoying rubbing that foot, enjoying having a look, pulling them, stretching them. Massaging the calves, the thighs. Rubbing around the knees, around the ankles, around the hip. And it should feel as if it starts to loosen off a little bit. So we're going to bring it back out, bring our knees together, stretch our legs out, and she'll be like, oh! Never hurts while you're doing it, only hurts when you're taking it out. So give the knees, give the legs a little shake. And I'm going to I'm going to bring her in while she's there. And then we'll relax down. Come in. Come on. Come on. Come on in then. Come on then. You've been trying to get in here all day. You come in. You come in. Come here. Come on. Come on. So you don't want to come in today. Come on, over here. Over here, over here. She's acting all shy. Yeah. Right, I'm going to get you to lie down till eventually when she wants to. Cookie, cookie, cookie. Yeah. No, it's like she knows she's on camera. Big Bear, Bungle, we should have called her rather than Cookie. So, I'm going to get you to lie yourselves down. You need to put some covering over you. Or if you're on a chair, stay on your chair. If you want, you can bend the knees and tuck your hips down, or you can have the legs straight down, palms turned over, chin tucked in. Let your body relax down. Let the shoulders relax, the jaw relax, the hands and the fingers, the feet, the calves. Make sure that you're not pulling in your pelvic floor, that's relaxed. You're not squeezing your stomach muscles, they're relaxed. Feeling the breath coming in through the nose, going down the back of the throat, right down into the base of the lungs, feeling it all the way up through the front and the sides, the back. breath's leaving, feel the stomach drop, the chest, the sides drop. The air come up through the back of the throat and either out through the mouth or out through the nose. When thoughts come into your head, just acknowledge them. Put them in a basket and blow them away. Label them past, present or future. Enjoy the feeling of just nice peacefulness. Taking us out through the joints of the body, the ankles, making sure that they feel okay. There's no problem in the left knee or the right knee. And how the joints of the hips feel. Right at the base of the spine. Working your way up through every joint of the spine. All the way up towards the neck. Thinking about the joints of the shoulders, the left and the right, and the elbows, the wrists. The neck and the jaw. If anything felt wrong or if anything gave you cause for concern, go back to that area. So we're going to start to feel movement through the toes. And through the fingers. Feeling movement through the wrists and the ankles. Through the shoulders and the hips. Through the front of the body and the back of the body. Through the neck and the head. Take your arms above your head, and as you breathe in, stretch your fingers in one direction, stretch your toes in the other. And as you breathe out, let the body relax. Big breath in again, reach one hand and then the other hand. And then when you're ready, breathe out. Pull the knees up towards your chest and roll them round in a circle. Feeling that massaging effect along your lower back. And then change directions. Roll over onto your side and just make sure that you feel okay before you bring yourself up to seated. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tonight I've put on an extra class for the Freestyle Fitness Yoga, which is handstands. So it's, I've sent that on the group chat for tonight. If you wanted to join, you don't have to. It's also on Instagram. And then tomorrow is our last ones. It'll be our 11 o'clock breathing exercise, which is only about 10-20 minutes. And then the duvet yoga on the night, which isn't relaxing, as I've been told, it's duvet. So hopefully I'll see you all then. I'm going to go back up to work now, back up to Handsworth. So I shall see you all soon. Take care.